everybody. How are you doing tonight? Happy Saturday. All right. How's everybody doing in the chat? Yes, I remember to hit the like button.
Yay.
I feel like so far that's a good start. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go through and let's see. We have a whole lot of people already here. Welcome. I'm hearing a tad of feedback. Should I put on my headphones? I'm going to mute and then. All right. Do we still hear the feedback? Did that fix it? Cool. Oh, I didn't mean to mute everybody. Did I mute everybody?
We all muted ourselves.
Oh, everybody did it. Everybody did the check. Yeah, usually if you mute and then come back, it usually will fix whatever that little thing is. How are you guys doing? Guess who was in the chat first? Zara.
Oh, I hear the feedback again. I don't know.
So do I.
Oh, hello. Hello, is it me? Am I the drama?
Somebody.
Did I do that?
I only hear it when Nia's talking, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, do I have something on? Which I might.
I think I had my mic too far forward.
I can move mine back too.
I plugged in my mic, but then I took it out.
I'm using my mic. It's at the normal distance. Everyone sounds good. It's just Nia has this poor feedback happening.
I know. I'm sad about it.
I don't hear it now.
I think it went away.
Yeah,
Troubleshooting 101, do one thing at a time so you know what works.
Yes.
Process of elimination.
Well, here we are.
This has to be riveting. Thank you all for sitting with us.
This is not the content we came here for.
Yeah.
But I think everyone in the chat is either a streamer themselves at this point on Authortube or has been to our stream, so understands the pain.
This is true.
That we sometimes.
Yes. The struggle is real. All right, let's go around really quick then. We'll go clockwise. We'll start with our guest host, Chandra, and then our regular host will go clockwise around. Go for it.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chandra Arthur. I'm a science fiction, fantasy, and historical fiction writer. I also have an Authortube channel where I make videos about things with stuff. And then I do Flash Fiction Live with Natalie Locke, which we've also got Flash Fiction February coming up. So follow us on Instagram for more information about that.
Love you. Glad you're here. Missed you. Happy New Year. Okay. Hi, I'm Barrett Laurie. I write Kid Lit. So if you want to come watch my hot mess over on my... Wait, I can't say that, though, because I now realize Kelly Wright says that, and I feel like I'm stealing it. So come over.
You can say it. Also, a little peek behind the curtain. That part will be leaving the intro of the Brightish podcast for season 3.
Oh, okay. I still feel weird stealing it. Like you're right here. It's weird. You can copyright me and we can do a Twitter war right now tonight over it. But anyway, I host.
Kelly doesn't have the patience for that.
Well, I don't know. We could try it. Every second Thursday, is that right? Second Thursday of the month is Critique Group Live, and I'm doing vlogs now too much, which is lots of fun. And this show, which I love, and that's it, I think, right now. Tomorrow on Zara's. You're welcome. Love you. Mean it.
Is that it? I don't want to cut you off.
I'm done.
Okay. That sounded so rude to me. I was like, are you done? I was like, me trying not to be rude sounds rude. Anyway, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy, a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. I am one half of the Brightish podcast. Kelly Wright, who is the other half, is in the chat. We drop episodes every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about writer things. It doesn't matter whether you're indie or going for traditional, where you are in the process. We also have a bunch of cool interviews. I think this coming Tuesday is our first interview of the season, of the show also. You know, we didn't do any interviews in season 1. So yeah, that's me. I have a YouTube channel. I host writing sprints on it on Sunday mornings. I upload videos on Tuesday and vlogs on Saturday. So there was a vlog that went up earlier today. And I have a Ko-fi page and normally will not shut up about the platform.
And I am Charliee, and I am an Authortuber here on YouTube as well. And I make videos about writing and journaling, but recently mostly journaling.
I love this. Just Eva's like, I hear echo. I think it's Nia's fault. Thank you, Eva. Thank you for that.
But then she said, "But I'm willing to blame Barrett." 2 comments down.
More,
Is it?
which is better. Thank you. Yeah, it's probably me. At some point while everybody's chatting, I will just probably try to turn on my mic and see if that eliminates. It never does this. I don't know why it's doing it today.
I'm very willing to take the drama.
Yeah. This is also true. A stream without a struggle doesn't have the same vibe.
I feel like a lot of my streams, like the struggle is me. Like it's not the sound, it's not the technology. It's like, oh, I forgot to have this queued up before. Whereas I'll see a stream with someone else and they're having tech issues, and I'm like, oh no.
I feel like the echo, though, I can never tell until we're live. Like, I feel like some people, when we're backstage, I never notice it, and then we're live, and suddenly it's like, what has changed?
We went live. Like, I always wonder if someone has it like playing in the background and they forget. So I always mute the YouTube tab.
Yeah.
In Chrome, like the whole site, not just like, oh, I'm gonna wait until it starts playing and then mute the video. I right click youtube.com in Chrome and I'm like, mute site.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. Also, when you mute the whole site, it helps the channel not to lose the view. Where if you mute just YouTube, you lose that. YouTube doesn't like it. I think it doesn't like it either. So it's better if you're trying to like watch through to help your Authortube friends. It's better to mute the site.
See, if I mute the video, all my YouTube videos that I pull up in different tabs after that are all muted. So I don't have to do like mute site.
Yeah.
I have a volume control on my keyboard, so I just like roll. And then my computer's completely muted. So since I usually run stuff off of this while I'm streaming here, I'll leave the sound on actual stuff, but turn it off on the.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes too. But since I normally need sound while I'm doing, like, it can never be music when I'm writing, but normally I need sound. I will play some other stuff. So
biggest mistake for me ever when I was hosting a live was I used one of those sites that have music on them when there's a timer. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just mute myself, then I won't hear it. But everyone heard it. I just muted myself.
Oh, yeah, you have to uncheck the share sound when you're sharing.
I did the opposite when we had our writers retreat. I thought I was on Chrome, and I knew to be on Chrome, but for some reason I was opened up on Firefox. So when I muted myself and the music, but I could still hear it. So I didn't notice. And by the time I noticed, it was too late. So I was like, oh well, here we go.
Yeah, I did that once on a stream as well, and it was.
I was like, I thought I was in Chrome, but I wasn't. All right, thank you guys all for coming. I've just been clicking through. Everybody is saying hi to everybody, which I love. You guys know I love it when y'all are super friendly because we have an awesome community. And are you guys ready? We're gonna go hot topic heavy tonight. And just a heads up, for February's, we are going to revisit the harsh writing advice. If you guys remember from I think it started in like February or March, but it was like February, March, April. Everybody was throwing out the harsh writing advice. So kind of like the hot topics, and a lot of the hot topic or unpopular opinions. So a lot of the unpopular opinions were very similar to people's harsh writing advice. And I'm like, where have I heard this before? So if you want to know some of them, or if you're interested in adding some, just if you go on to Twitter, I know it was all over Twitter for those of us who don't Twitter, but just type in harsh writing advice or hashtag harsh writing advice, and I'll put up a reminder so that you guys can go through and see what sticks and what we realized. No, that wasn't it.
It's like the meme where it's like corporate needs you to find the difference between these two pictures. It's the same picture.
Yep. So excited. Oh, cool. Oh my God.
5 hours.
Thank you, Sen. Love you.
Yes.
Sen? Wait, Sin got 7K during a 99-minute sprint on Kate's Twitch stream yesterday.
That's
Oh my God.
And everyone was
Wow.
like, 7K in a sprint? And then I was like, probably that, because Sin is that awesome. But like, just to clarify, did the sprint get you to 7K for the day, or did you do 7K within the sprint? And the answer was 7K within the sprint.
Wow.
That's amazing. That is like, your brain is like ready for it when that
Yeah, I was
happens.
gonna say the
I
only way I
love
could
that.
probably do that is dictation.
Mhm.
I can't do dictation. My brain
Oh.
doesn't work
Dictation,
like that.
I can double my word count, but
Yeah.
Really?
a lot of gobbledygook I have to get rid of later. Lots of ums and so lots of so's. I say so a lot.
I just get on a roll with dictation that I can't pretty much any other way. Plus, I can be doing other stuff. Like if the muse bites me while I'm doing something else, I'll just be like, I know I sound crazy, but I'll be in the shower with my phone up there, like, and then he stabbed her.
If it works, it works. My brain, I don't know what it is. It's like sometimes I'll hear a scene, but not like in voices or anything. I also can't imagine voices the same way I can't visually imagine stuff. But if it comes to like writing something, I can't just say it, like because I'm not imagining anything. So I think it's like I have to see the words on the page to know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Can
For
I?
me-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's
Charlie.
okay, you can get.
No.
Okay. Okay. I was just gonna say that for me, dictation doesn't work because any program that I've tried dictation with just doesn't understand me.
Okay.
Racist.
Oh, wow.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
joking.
really. Okay, all I was going to say was two things real quick to chat. One thing, Regina George, I just saw your thing about a horror novel, so congratulations. That sounds amazing, and I can't wait to hear more about it.
She came up with it today, and she was telling me and Crow about it during my VIP club stream for my Ko-fi tier at that level. And she was like, oh, I have all these ideas. And I'm like, oh, so you've hit this reference and this reference and this reference. And I have like two more for you as someone who doesn't like watch horror or is a fan of horror because I'm scared of everything, but I know about it. So like oh, it's so good. But I was also like, I'm terrified. Like, I'm going to have to read this book because it's yours. But I'm also like, if it wasn't yours, I'd be like, hell no.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear more about it. That's exciting. Just Eva, before you run away from the computer, because I saw what you said, how many words did you get before this? Because I wanted to see if you hit is this your reward? Did you hit your goal? So those would be my questions. Everybody else in chat, hi. Michael C.V. Chin, Margaret Pinard just came in. Crow, so many people.
Keep doing that, Barrett. I'm going to pop out and pop back in, and I'm going to see if that will correct the echo. And then as soon as I get back, we'll hop into the to our hot topic.
Sweet.
All right, go ahead, Barrett. Keep going.
Naked Firefly, good to see you. Kiera, who else am I missing, you guys? Did I miss anybody? Isabella Cox, we said hello to. Stephanie Whitson and Jennifer Brown, good to see you both.
To Regina's comment about dictation, one thing I found is I just do it on the Google Keep app on my phone, and then before I copy and paste it to my Google Doc, I run Grammarly through it. Makes it a lot easier.
That's a good hack.
Dia, is it still happening, or did we get rid of it?
I think it's gone.
Well,
I don't hear
it's gone, but she hasn't come back yet, so we don't know.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Writer Sam Wicker, good to see you. Maggie, good to see you.
Did that work?
I think
no, I can't hear. Well, did that work?
Yeah.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think we're fixed.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Something about hearing it was bothering me.
Maggie says she can still hear it, but I don't.
Okay.
So, Mia left and came back because she was trying to fix the sound issue. And as far as us on screen can tell, it's been fixed.
But you guys are still hearing a little like a feedbacky, almost.
Yeah, let us know if there's an echo.
I'm not hearing anything.
I'm not hearing anything either.
Okay.
I mean, I'm hearing you all talk, but like I don't hear any echo.
You know what? It could have been me. I just unplugged my mic, but I had it unplugged earlier and I replugged it back in. So,
are your settings on through StreamYard? Like, is it selecting the proper mic?
Yes,
and echo cancellation is turned on.
Yeah, but I sound fine right now, right?
We're set. Yeah.
So I'll just keep it off.
Charliee, you were the drama? I can't believe it.
Maggie
Charliee.
is saying that now I'm echoing. Are you sure that's not you just like hearing Riley barking in the background?
I don't hear it anymore. I will say the echo, I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah, Regina says echo is gone. Crow says bark, 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 but no echo.
Bless. Charliee, you were the drama. It was
Charliee came in with the drama first thing. I love it.
If this is my debut drama, then I'm fine with it.
Debut drama.
You're like, if this was my Splash, I'm okay with it. It could have been much worse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Moving on.
Let us let's go into our first hot topic is based on we all saw this unpopular opinion. Authortube is dying. So is Authortube dying? And do you miss old Authortube with the old school writing advice and vlogs? What do you guys think?
I might have a hot take on this.
Go for it.
Authortube isn't dying. People who've been here a long time have stopped networking as much.
For a second, I thought you were going to say people who used to be on Authortube are now dying instead.
I did that too.
I can't speak to that.
I'm like, that would be really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is. And part of it is not their fault. Part of it is once you reach a certain size channel, it becomes really difficult to network with people because they're looking at what they can get from you instead of just how to collaborate. So that does make it more difficult to meet new people. But outside of that, I feel like there's a lot of other people who just aren't engaging, aren't looking for new channels, aren't collaborating, even with the people they used to collaborate with, be it that some of those people have left. And it does make it feel like a colder place if you don't have anybody that you talk to.
Yes. How do we feel about Spice Level? So I'll name the name. So I think we're talking about Natalia Lee's video, who started the first.
Yes, she did do a video back in the spring or in the summer, either spring or summer. Yeah. She did a video about this.
And I watched it, and here's my hot take on the video that started this. Is as I watched it, I thought a couple of things. Number one, I thought, wow, what a great job picking a very clickbait title for what you gave us in the video, as far as like the promise of the premise of what she really gave us. Because really what she gave us was sitting there and crying about all the white ladies have left, which I was sad about, truly, genuinely, like sad for her. I could feel the pain. But I did think to myself, also, there's lots of use of good SEO words, which were great, buzzwords. And again, it struck me a little bit as I've gone and like made candles and soap for the last 2 years, and now we're pivoting back to Authortube, and I miss seeing like the O folks, and that's okay, and I'm sorry for her, and I'm gonna send her like a little fruit basket and say I'm sorry, girl. But like,
we're not leaving. We know we're not white. We're not leaving.
Yeah.
Some of it, I think, some of the people are actually leaving to do the same things that Natalie herself was doing. So then it's not really Authortube. If you want a lifestyle blog, which is fine, then do that. But that's not Authortube per se. But so once channels, I don't know if it's when they get so big and then they start getting viewers from other things, and then people want to see more different things, and then they start doing the more different things. She's not the only person who's doing that. So then it's not just writing advice and just writing those sped up writing blogs, which a lot of people like those, or I wrote like so-and-so. People like those. And those are like, when you think of Authortube, I think that's what I used to think of specifically, especially the writing advice part. So then when bigger Authortubers started doing other stuff, it doesn't feel like Authortube anymore. But if a lot of them are doing that, then a lot of them, and you get more subscribers, more people, more clicks, more people watching your videos. but it's hard because the Authortube is small. It's just small, you know.
Yeah.
And when I think about when I changed my channel, people are like, "Oh, you." I'm like, if I wanted to get a lot of clicks and likes and watches, Authortube is not where I would have taken my couple thousand subscribers.
No.
This is not where you go to blow up. I actually went to a smaller niche group. Instead of, I know the kind of videos that I could make
Eva just
if I was
said,
trying to make money.
What Eva just said, we got to touch on, because 100% that with the size of the channels, the one about Michelle Schusterman and Sarah Sutton, and that's the point. That part, it went too fast because you guys are talking, which I love to see. And
Yes, it is. I'm like literally looking for it because I want to. There are a lot of comments. Oh my goodness.
I know. It was like, it was there, it was gone. That one.
Right. Yeah, but that's also the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have seen the growth due to the pandemic. So yeah. I think Sarah, oh my gosh, name's blanking. The Sarah without an H, who likes to rock climb. Or not rock climb. Who lives in Utah or something like that.
Sarah Cannon?
You're muted, Zara, so we don't know. I think Zara's like, I know who this is.
Sarah LeBrat. Sorry, I forgot I muted because I was eating, and there's a little bit of a crunch to the food my mom brought me. So.
I think she posted a video for her 5,000 subscriber thing, where she mentioned that before the pandemic she was at like 98 subscribers, and then after the pandemic,
yeah.
So then I think with the newer people who have become popular, it's what kind of videos are they putting out? And that's what a lot of people are going to see. Like, I didn't see smaller Authortubers. So for me, when I came in, I knew Jenna Moresi. I was kind of like in the Booktube realm of what I was watching. So I knew Jenna Moresi. The first real Authortuber that I knew was Alexa. And I just liked their content. Jenna, she grew on me. I didn't like her content at first, and then it kind of grew on me because I missed her nagging at me. You know how she is with her kind of like really harsh way of speaking. So then I was like, I kind of miss that. Usually I'm like, oh, she cusses too much. And then I was like, well, I kind of like that. So then I would go back to that. But I thought Authortube was all about, I'm going to give you this writing advice. This is what I thought. I'm here to give you this writing advice and tell you how you're going to be an indie author. So the first people that I saw after Alexa and after Jenna, that's what they were doing. And I thought, oh, well, I need to see what your book looks like before I buy your program. Literally, that's what I thought it was. People were selling their workshops and programs. And I'm like, well, let me click on this one to see how much it is. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, well, I need to see your book.
I didn't know that at all. Because when people were talking about that drama, I was like, I had no idea, because what I had done was I've known Jessie Elliott since 2014. Oh, and wow. I, was watching her YouTube videos, and then she privated everything for a while and was barely on it. And then she started doing sprints during the pancake, and then she unprivated her videos, and she's doing bi-weekly vlogs publicly and weekly vlogs for her non-Ko-fi but alternative that I refuse to name page. And so I knew her, and she had done the Wander Writers Retreat. So I had seen Natalia Lee and Brooke Passmore and Kate Kavanaugh and Mandy Lynn, and I am sure I'm blanking on some people, and I apologize. But I hadn't thought about any of them really. I was there for I was there for her, so it never really stuck in my mind, those names. And then the pancake rolled around, and I got completely stuck down the Authortube hole of Brooke, Kate, Natalia Lee, Mandy Lynn,
Kim Chance,
Jessica Smith. I was like, I know I'm missing one who's a big one that I still follow, and Kim Chance, and so I was watching them, and they
Vivian
would
Reese,
have
Vivian, whatever her name was, Vivian Reese. Did you watch her too? She was kind of in that mix. But yeah,
no, I mean, I know that I give everyone from the Wander Writers.
But I had been watching Kate Kavanaugh for like 2 years before I joined. But I don't think she was the first one. I really think Alexa Dunn was the first one, and it's because when she came on, it's because she had trad pubbed, and I was like, oh, I wonder how she did. I didn't even think of Authortube as it was a thing. I don't know how.
I didn't hear about Alexa Dunn until like maybe 6 months into me just watching the Wander Writers Retreat group kind of people.
Wow.
There are definitely still times where like I'm meeting new people. Like there's someone who introduced me to the Brit Pack. Like I didn't realize that some of the people I've been seeing in people's streams up here, like they're the Brit Pack, but I was meeting them as individual people. And then Barrett's like, no, these are the individuals who are the Brit Pack. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't have made that. Yeah.
For me, I didn't find Alexa Dunn till very recently. I think it was probably someone in this group who was like, "Oh, hey, Alexa Dunn did this," and I was like, "Wait, what?" But for me, I started watching Jen Morrissey about almost 7 years ago, which I think is around the time she started her channel. Maybe she had her channel up for 6 months, and I've been lurking on Authortube for a really long time, but I didn't really get involved. And I mean, a lot of it was like when you first start writing, those kinds of here's hard and fast rules are helpful when you first start. But then when you start to find your feet, it's like, thanks, that's not helpful.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these rules that when I first started watching Authortube, like you must do this, you must do that. And I like took all my work down and was like, oh gosh, I got to change so much. And I'm like, this doesn't even read the same anymore. It doesn't, it's like, to me, I felt like some of the advice was, and I'm like, then I learned they're not even professionals. 90% of the time, they're not professionals either. They're just throwing out these surface level advice. So I'm like, okay, I need to just get into the community and actually just learn how to write.
Yeah, I was an early reader for Jenna's first book, Eve the Awakening, and we're never going to get a sequel because it was a really bad time for her, unfortunately. She said that on a live stream a while ago, which sucks because that was a really good story. But Kelly told me, now I'm blanking on it. Kelly and I talked about it for like 2 hours earlier today, and I'm already forgetting the name of the YouTube channel. But someone made a video about like how Jenna Moressi's book actually like goes against a lot of the writing advice she gives on her channel, and I'm like, oh, I haven't read it. I can't because it's adult fantasy, so I know it's going to be problematic for me. But
I read it, and yes, it is true. Honestly, I struggled with that because Jenna Morrissey was one of the people who really helped me when I first started writing. So to see that, like, I was excited to read the book. I read the book, and then I was just like, guess there's no hope for me. Like, I know that's not true, but it definitely felt that way.
Yeah. Can I say something on this topic that's adjacent, but is sort of like what we're talking about? So the question was about like, is Authortube dying? And then there's the whole thing about advice videos and vlogs. And so hot take from 20,000 feet. And part of the reason I try to do things the way I do them, and I'm always looking for new ways to do things and change things up and try something new and collaborate with different people, is, to me, the best way to kill Authortube is to keep doing or trying to copy what someone else is doing. And I'm only saying that because I did it myself a lot of times in the beginning. I've got playlists and playlists I could point you to watch. And please do at some point for watch hours. Thank you. But the real deal is, if you want to stay a vibrant community, then you try new things and you change it up and you take chances and be willing to fail. And that's what keeps the whole community vibrant and changing and interesting, frankly, because otherwise, if we're all doing the same thing, then Devin's essentially running around compiling a playlist of everybody doing just the same thing. And there's a time and a place for doing writing sprints and the serious writing stuff. And there's also a time and a place for the people who want to do chatty streams, a la Gloria and Tom, for example, or folks that want to do, I'm just trying to think of all the different things. Margaret Pinard, who leans between, she kind of is by YouTubeal, which she's like Booktube and Authortube. I'm like, yes, ma'am, that's a whole thing I'm here for. So, I love that there's lots of people that are trying new and different things. And I think that's what keeps it from dying. And so for the people that feel like, oh, I'm real sad about Authortube dying, I just sort of say, A, are you doing the same thing? Are you looking for the same people? Because if that's the thing, then yes, it's dead. Sorry about you. So
Very true.
It
very
evolves.
True. Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, some of the older Authortubers have been posting videos that are like just newer versions of videos that they posted in the past. So I mean, that's possible, but if you're looking for the same type of content, in vein of the same type of content, but like something new, then you have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
that part.
Also, I see that that Isabella has asked us if we
Is that this
think-
one? Is this
yes,
the one?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've seen that comment twice now, and I feel bad for not saying
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I wanted to get to it. I like had my thing right on it, like,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
but Charliee, you segued into it very nicely. Perfect. I'm rewriting a book and I'm thinking of changing the trope a bit. Should the main group be friends, or should the MC be ex-best friends with the group?
I think it depends on the story.
Yeah, let me
Like,
ask
I want
you,
a little bit more context.
would you
before
give us a pitch? Can you give us like even if it takes 3 comment boxes, give us like your Twitter pitch, and then let's see. This will be fun. This is a
Yeah.
fun exercise.
Because
Do
there
it.
are some where, like, I'm picturing, like the start of Pretty Little Liars, where
Yes.
they used to be friends, but they're all fractured, and then the
Yes.
story has to pull them together. Versus, you have other stories where it's like you have the group of friends and they're the ones against the world, but even like you're questioning whether or not that's enough, obviously, because they're normally a group of misfits, and you're like,
Sisterhood of the
Yeah.
Traveling Pants.
What
Yeah.
I'd be really excited for is the whole like subtext if they are ex-best friends, because I think that would be so fun to like discover. But
Yes.
I mean, I like that, but I'm always like, it depends on the story. Like, I can't
Yeah.
be like this or this without any other.
Let's see.
oh,
Closest to becomes her love interest. Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
that's something I'd be down to read.
Mm.
Okay, I would read that.
Yeah, I'm here for the drama. I also think though that I'm always supportive of a good friendship story, because I feel like there's a lot of times where there's not just friendship for the sake of friendship in stories.
Totally agree.
And
I'm down for friendships and stories too.
You know what? This is off topic, but my biggest like peeve when reading is because I always ship the 2 best friends together. I was always like, oh, these 2 best friends need to become lovers, but then they never did, and I always thought the best friend was so much better than their love interest, and it broke my heart every time I read
Be
those.
like that sometimes.
Well, I feel like a lot of people like would write the love interest to be toxic after a certain mega best-selling paranormal series. And it's like, no, you should not be promoting this. Like, okay, granted, I do love when there are platonic, and this is going to sound so hella heteronormative, but like when there is a platonic male and female friendship in the book, I'm like, yes, not everyone has to get paired up.
I don't
But
think
at the
that's
same time, the
heteronormative.
love interest should not be worse than the best friend.
I don't
Right?
think that is, because I feel like everyone wants to ship them. So I think the opposite of that would be for them to remain platonic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, so you want to say something?
No, I was
David?
just going to say, Isabella said, I'm so bad at trying to summarize stuff, which no problem. That was a lot of pressure to put on somebody in a live
Yeah.
stream. Nope, sorry about that. I'm going to go with the ex-best friend because I think it'll be nice to write. You can't go
Cool.
wrong.
Yeah.
If you're going to enjoy writing it, do it.
Yeah.
Get in there, dig
Yep.
deep. You
Have
can do it.
fun. Have fun. Try some different things. I'm excited. Yeah. Join us in most of us do writing streams, or we hang out in everybody's writing streams. Keep us posted. I'm very curious.
Yes. You already
I
have
wanna know how
readers.
it's going.
so-
Yes, you do. We're all curious.
And to just Eva's comment, I want to say that the gatekeepers are actually YouTube's algorithm, because if we start posting videos that aren't in like our niche, then we're having like, it just doesn't work out, right? We have
I don't
people
think
who aren't
YouTube
interested in
knows what to do with me, because sometimes my videos are like very clearly writing. Sometimes it's like a vlog, which I tag as like Authortube vlog, so like it is in the proper vein or whatever. But then like I also have videos about musical theater, and I set that up in my Authortube newbie tag, where I'm like, my channel is going to be writing and musical theater and probably mental health at some point and like maybe other stuff in the future. I'm not limiting myself. And I think YouTube is like, we don't know. And I'm like, that's okay. I don't need you to. This is the content I want to put out.
They're going to figure it out that we can do what the bigger channels do, because a lot of big channels are allowed to do that because YouTube's going to see their name, and mostly it's promoting their name. They're promoting that person. So that person can basically put out whatever they want because they've got 50, 100,000 subscribers. YouTube sees their name, their video is going to get more push. So eventually they're going to let us smaller channels do the same thing. And we know how to set up a playlist. So when someone comes to my channel, if they want writing sprints, they'll go to my writing sprints. If they want to watch a chatty thing like this where we're talking about this, they'll go to Authortubers React. And if they want to talk about adaptations, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow at noon, guys, join me. Then there'll be a playlist for that, for people who want to talk about the books that they watch on TV now because they've been converted into an, you know what I mean? So when I set up my playlist, hopefully, YouTube is going to catch on that, the smaller channels can do what the bigger channels are doing. But yeah, they don't know what to do with our content.
One thing that does help with that, though, is if you tag all of your videos with your channel name and your whatever name you go by, because then regardless of what people watch, if they watch more of your content, it's going to auto-associate anything that has those tags and be like, oh, this same person made this. I don't know what it's about, but you might like it.
Since you like it, yeah, that's why I tag Vixen and Fiction now in all my videos.
And you should be tagging us in each of these. Like when you all are on, like for instance, if you search Chandra or Vixen and Fiction since the meetup for at least the last few weeks, I show up, that stream shows up on like the middle part of the first page.
Interesting.
And I tagged you in that one just because it was you put the writer retreat together, but we should tag you, we should tag everyone.
Tag each other. Oh yeah.
I don't always remember to do like the @ sign and then the username, and sometimes it doesn't work for like smaller channels, but I always put like I spell out the name of my guests in the description and that.
Oh yeah.
They show up that way too.
Yeah, I thought you guys were talking about just tag everyone you knew in Authortube in every one of the videos.
No, I would only tag people that were in that video, I think.
Yeah.
So SC Houston, tagging there's a couple different ways that you can do it, but the most relevant tags to the subject should be like the top 10, 15 tags. And then the rest of them, you would go down in order of importance, but you always want to make sure that you're including like your name or your channel name or both in your tags. And at first it's going to rank very low, but after you have a certain amount of videos, you'll see if someone searches your name, that's going to be one of the higher ranking tags. But one way that you can see this, and I think it's the best tool that I've used in regards to tagging, is vidIQ, which they have some stuff that's free, and then they have a paid version. I use the paid version. This is not sponsored. I'm just telling you what I do. I use the paid version of vidIQ, but even before I paid for it, I found a lot of benefit from their free software as well. Or it's an add-in to your browser.
Go ahead, Barrett.
Can I speak to Eva's real quick that I just saw? Because I just read it in the YouTube email. Eva just said, sometimes it asks me to fill out a short form about how I liked a video. Do you guys get those? What's that about? So in the YouTube email from December, it was saying that they're starting to do that now. And they're beta testing a new algorithm for figuring out like, I don't know. I have no idea. It just said that it's a very quick part about beta testing something. So I've been doing them to try to get better suggestions.
I mean, even underneath videos for like months now, sometimes they'll be like, was this a good recommendation?
Yeah.
Like brownie face.
Yeah.
Really?
In the middle, like flat line, smiley face.
Not gonna lie, I get them more when I watch YouTube on my phone. So I try to watch people's videos on my phone so that like if I'm watching Chandra and Natalie's thing, it'll come up and it'll ask, why did you like it? Was it because it was helpful? Was it entertaining? And I can click what it was so that hopefully that helps you guys with your channel.
On the phone, Shannon sees it now. Yeah.
I've not had to fill out any form, but they will give me on my phone the do you dislike this or do you like this thumbs? And I always get them for ads. not for videos that I'm actually interested in ads. And because on my phone, the thumb button is where you minimize the tab on YouTube. I always click like regardless of how annoyed I am at the ad, because it's just like it's just there. That's how you exit the screen. It's like, yeah.
So from the email, it just said that it was to improve the algorithm to serve in suggested browse better options for users. So that makes me think it's to improve like what they give us in both places, like on the side of videos while they're live, and then also like on our home pages. I think it's for both, but I don't know much more than that.
Interesting.
Thank you, Barrett, for reading the emails for us.
I can't believe nobody else reads those. They're like 2 pages long, but they're very interesting, and they have lots of interesting information in them.
The algorithm's getting
Anyway, go subscribe to Barrett's channel. You won't regret it.
Yeah. So I'm a good time like that. I read the YouTube email.
Yes.
Or you should put a live stream of you reading.
Once a week, be like, okay, everybody, this is what the email said.
Literally.
Dramatic reading.
I would love those. Yes. With
Like,
your fairy rings and your crown, and just be like, here's a summary. 2-minute video, but you'll have 2 minutes of watch time every time you upload one.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that too, Violet. I only sub and watch writer and book videos on this account. When YouTube suggests something else, I'm marked not interested. Yeah. Squarely.
Sometimes YouTube will suggest the most random stuff, and I'm like, what did I look at? Or did I pause while you're scrolling and you pause because someone's talking to you? Did YouTube think I was in there? Why are you showing me this? No, I'm not. You show me the most random things, but then the things that I am interested in, I never see them. Like 3 months later, someone will be like, did you see this video? I'm like, no, that's exactly what I want. Yes.
Morgan's meditation was amazing.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Mad props. What other spicy topics did we have? Yes, to this too. I love this comment. Barrett can read YouTube emails, and I can read StreamYard, and Zara can do Kofi.
I would love that.
Can
you imagine? Yeah. We'd be like,
it would be like
you know what's happening on the rest of the platforms that we all use. Go over.
I mean, I could not be more serious when I say please do this.
Yes, I'm serious. I don't want to read.
Margaret is doing StreamYard.
I told you what my emails.
I took a screenshot. I mean, I'm up for it, Margaret and Barrett, if you are.
Sure. Why not? I'm in.
There you go.
I got nothing but time.
We'll have our updates, everybody.
Back to topic. As members and supporters of Authortube, we're not the right corners. Do stats support less views across Authortube or more? Fewer creators or more? More uploads or fewer?
StreamYard jumped on me as soon as I found it, and I was about to click on it. There we go.
Yeah, I agree with this. So they're not the right corners. Yeah. And I don't know the answer to that.
I know they like when a channel has more uploads, like when they're consistent.
It doesn't so much. I mean, yes, the more active you are, it's good. But like for some content where it takes a really long time to create that kind of content, I think that like YouTube learns that for the specific tags. So as long as you upload every month, it's like that's what's expected for that kind of channel versus other kinds where you upload on a daily basis, and it's like you gotta match the competition.
Crow said earlier to Chandra, I love watching Chandra partially for the like kitty aerobics, and I have to agree. It is. I mean, I love Chandra just in general, but like every stream is literally.
Yeah, I like to see what's Bobby gonna do today.
Someone also said that Chandra is like their favorite wave, and I'm like,
yes, this is my favorite wave. Yes, I totally
agree. This and be like,
I remember the first time I streamed with Chandra. I'm all, hey everybody, and Chandra comes in. I'm like, wow.
Yes, I do.
Know. I was like, I like her.
I'm all, hi.
Margaret threw some shade at me, which is very funny. If you go to the next down and then the next after that.
Oh my gosh.
Are good and true. She's not wrong. Barrett, I got nothing but time. Also, Barrett, what is this madness of writing schedules? All true. 100%. Not disagreeing at all, Margaret. You don't know me.
Oh yeah. I only do Authortube, bookish, and music channels. on it. Yeah, I'm mostly Authortube and Bookish, and then anything that's an adaptation that I'm watching, I dive into the fandoms. The fandoms are wild though, so it can be a little bit difficult because they're like nitpicking at the fine minutia, and I'm like, I just want to talk about the show, but cool, I'm learning all of this other stuff. Like the Wheel of Time fandom, they're amazing, but that's where you got to go if you want to talk about it, you know. But they're into like detailed. I'm like, I hardly remember the middle books, and they remember every single detail. So it can be hard, which is probably why I wanted to talk about adaptations, because I'm like, can we surface talk about this and talk about the writing and the writing aspect of it without, you know, deep diving into the fandom part? It can be challenging. I feel like Authortube that we watched is dying, but the Authortube we are coming together to is making. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yep. It's changing, and like Barrett was saying earlier, it's got to change. It's got to evolve, because how many times can you watch the same video over and over and over and over?
Yeah,
you know, that gets old. And I think that's why when I first started watching Authortube, I was literally looking for people that were doing something different, or they were the first ones to do the thing.
Yeah.
So yes. I saw something along those lines somewhere. It was talking about when you're creating a channel, how you do want to go where there's a lot of traction initially, but then you have to start to refine in order to create and generate more interest. Yep. But also when you do create that kind of surface level basic information on a subject, be aware that your viewership is going to outgrow your channel. And that's okay if that's your intention, but you just have to be aware that your viewer is going to outgrow that, and they're going to look for something that's, you know, from beginner to intermediate, intermediate to advanced, and it's going to have that stair-stepper effect. So if you're not providing that range of content, your viewers will outgrow you, and that's okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I totally agree. So we're gonna. I know, but the hot topics are a little bit different because you got more detail, so you can go into it a little bit more. So that's
I like Maggie's question at the bottom.
Y'all aren't ready. Oh, is there a question?
I'm almost there. Is it this one?
I could watch you time lapse write all day. Repeat the content. Some folks are just finding your channel today. Okay. Cool. Was that the question? Oh, Maggie.
No, Maggie had a question. But like, I do time lapses because that's like the easiest thing for me to do in a vlog. Because if I had to like film actual speaking clips like all the time, I'd be like, I know you asked for vlogs, but the whole point of me vlogging is to show how I can do all the stuff that I do, and I then wouldn't be able to do all that stuff if I had to.
Yeah, totally agree. The reason why I haven't been posting vlogs lately is because a lot of what I'm doing is just like, I don't know, I'm not good at pausing my writing to vocalize what I'm doing. So a lot of it is just like nice B-roll, and like, okay, now I have to remember what I did during all this B-roll.
Well, there was there's a clip for one of the days in my vlog that posted today, and it was like I woke up, went to the couch, and like started working, and like I have a time lapse for like maybe a minute max. I don't like my time lapses to last too long because even I get bored. And then I like left the text card where I was like, the rest of the day looked like this, so I did not film the entire thing.
Yeah.
I loved this analogy. I feel that, Zara. This analogy is a good one, and I agree. I don't disagree with it at all. Nailed it, Natalie. And hello, Grace and Wild. I saw you pop in. I'm seeing all the hellos.
Yes.
To Maggie's question, though, I think it actually helps because people like drama.
Oh, well, what do
it was
this one did it say question? This one?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt if you're going for traditional, though.
Yeah,
I will say that. Like, not my circus, not my monkey should be your motto, because every professor I've had in my master's in publishing program is like, we're not all the marketing team, but we know that like if we bring an author in, like either as an agent or the editor who's like, we're bringing this author into the house, or like, we don't want to sign someone who we know could be problematic.
Oh, no, I don't mean like that. I mean, for the community as a whole, I think it's helpful because it exposes us to like a wider audience of people are like, oh, what's this drama? And then they dig down a hole and they're like, oh, I haven't read any of these people. Let me go buy this book.
This
And
is
so
true.
Yeah.
from that
This is true.
perspective, yes,
As nosy
do I want-
people who love gossip and like to get the attention of other people, 100%. But like, you don't want to be the one involved in
Yeah.
drama.
No,
But
thank
Sarah's
you.
like,
It's
I'm not
kind
the
of-
one.
It's
I'm like,
kind of
it's
what
This drama is not worth it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, to get a few
Yeah.
extra sales, I don't know if I want the actual headache and stress of it.
No,
My
I'm
God.
talking about general, like bringing people into Authortube to like
Yeah.
connect and be like, how did you find Authortube? Well, there was this drama. And I'm
I mean,
like,
I'll be honest.
I mean,
That's what sucked me in was when there was some drama a couple of years ago that everybody knows about. And that whole thing I saw on Twitter, and it brought me over here to be like, what is this about? And then I was like, wait a minute, what? And then I got sucked into the
I feel like I had such an innocuous like introduction to Authortube. It's like, oh, I knew Jenna and Jesse from like reading their stuff. And then I found out they were on YouTube. Versus
Right,
everyone
yours
else
is
was
like
like, I
instant.
came here for the tea. And
No,
I
mine
stayed.
mine was trash. Mine was dirt. And I was like,
well,
where is
I was
it?
the
How do I get
opposite
in the
of
middle
you,
of it?
Barrett. I was the opposite. I knew a handful of people, and by the time I thought, oh, let me dip my toe in, drama blew up, and I was like, oh no, these people they're
Yeah.
wild out here.
Yeah.
I need to stay back. I don't need
Well-
anybody up in my business like that. So yeah, it actually slowed me down from getting involved.
I didn't stay for the drama. It just brought me in. Like that's what
Yeah.
I saw on Twitter. They were talking about the ARCs thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that,
so I mean,
curious by it,
I
and I was
watched
just
the
like, what?
videos.
And then I came over and watched again 2 or 3 videos. The first one I saw actually was Robert Jones, of all the people, to like address something like that. Robert Jones, and I watched his and got sucked in, and then they started serving me people, and then it was it was done. Then it was over.
For me, I got sucked in because I wanted some writing advice. And then my YouTube page was filled with several different writers, all with very similar advice. And I was like, time to go for the vlogs. And that's where I got sucked into another hole in Authortube. And it just kind of grew exponentially from there. And also, it's kind of like what Richard Holiday said. And I think Just Eva said that something like this earlier about how like drama does equal engagement, but it's also building your reputation. So
Yeah.
whatever
Or
reputation
ruining
you
it
want to
at
have.
the same time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Eva's spitting real talk.
my
Yep.
personal policy, I will watch your drama from afar. And I will show up when I'm in the mood for it and not let it bog me down.
Mhm.
So
I
as long
normally
as
don't
it's
find out
believable.
about it until like months and months later, and I'm like, I basically tell Kelly, I'm like, too long, didn't read, and she'll be like, oh yeah, I found out about it from this video, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna watch the video. Let's be honest. I'm sorry. Like I know they probably need the watch time or they don't, but like, you could tell me in like 3 sentences what the deal is.
The only drama that I kind of caught on to early on was the Authortube dying one, actually, because that was actually kind of like a reintroduction to Authortube, because I stumbled upon an Authortuber who posted a video like that. I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't know they were called Authortube. So it was kind of like
I'm trying
this
to
is
think
what
of when I
Authortube is.
realized it was called Authortube. Sometime right about before I was like, oh, let me actually dip my toe in, and then the arcs, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is crazy. And then there was some diversity stuff that was going on. I was like, oh, this is too much. Let me sit back for a little while.
I didn't catch a lot of that.
And
I
then the
just-
creator tube stuff was happening. It was a lot happening
Yeah.
right before I actually came in.
Before I
kind of
found out the
feel-
larger community, I'd been, of course, I was following Jenna, and then Jenna had done a live stream for the book launch, and so there was sprints, and that was when I first discovered sprints, and then I was like frantically searching for live stream sprints, and it was very hard to find, and then of course that's where our savior Tugwaddle came in with all the links, and I was like, oh, thank goodness.
We love Devin so much.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh gosh, there are so many comments, but I want to pop up the next one because we got about 20 minutes to chat about it before we take our break and head over to Twitch for our next set of topics. Did I not click on it? No, I didn't. There we go. Is brand marketing taking over Authortube and Booktube? So I've been seeing some videos as of late where I don't know that this is a problem or that it's taking over, but I think that one, people are trying to find ways to make that extra money, and two, some people actually have good things to sell. One of the videos I was watching, what is their name? I think it was maybe Unwanted Book Club, but she was showing how if you click on someone's video, then you go down. It's just a list of nothing but marketing. And I'm like, if they're doing a good job at it, I guess it's okay. That's a bit much for me. And I usually don't look at everybody's stuff. Like, I usually will go to what I'm looking for. Like, if someone says this is linked below, I usually just will go to that. And if it's like a long list, I'll ignore everything else. I know a lot of people that I used to watch a lot, I still watch. Some don't have a whole lot, and they're huge, and others have a ton, and they're also huge. So
I do get annoyed if they say it's in the links are in the description, and then they have like 84,000 links for other unrelated stuff before they get to the one
like,
thing
where
that
is
they're
it?
like links in the description. I'm like,
I do like have a lot of links in my description, but half of the links are actually links to other people's Ko-fi pages, like the people who support me. If you have a Ko-fi page, you're in my description. If you're at one of my tiers, you're in the description all the time. And then underneath, it's like I have links to promote. Like I'm like, you can buy my books or you can hire me. And then my podcast, obviously, with Kelly. And then I have like affiliate links, but you don't have to scroll all the way down to that. Like you could stop scrolling at any point, and like they're grouped in the different categories. But I put the most important things, which is the description, the bookmarks, any links that I mention in a video. And then thank you to my Ko-fi supporters, and then list them by tier.
But
that sounds fine. That sounds like almost like the end credits. You know how you watch the end credits of a show?
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
Like, when is it too much? Like I have seen somewhere where it's like I think they use every single letter that you're allowed to use.
Well,
I don't know if it's 3,000 or 5,000 or whatever it is, but it's like, did you use?
But if you tell me that there's a link to this helpful thing that you talked that is the subject of the video, and it's in the description, and I go into your description and it says, and here's the laptop that I use, and here's the camera and the microphone, and I have a pop filter, and the poster in my room, and these are the sheets that are on my bed, and that's the nail polish that I wore, and all of that is before you actually get to the link that's in the description.
Yeah, no. I put those types of things in the bottom, and so does Kate Kavanaugh. She'll be like, this is my camera, and this is the camera I use for time lapses. Yeah, like that's what she does.
Yeah, and that's what I
like, because with the bookmarks for a video, I always feel like I should put it right after the description of the video, which it probably doesn't matter where it is in the description, but I'm always like, if I don't put it like kind of at the top, I'll forget. But then right underneath that is like referenced in this video.
Well, also, I think if you have a consistent format so people know exactly where to look at it, then cool.
Yeah. I think also the problem with these last two questions is that it makes us define what Authortube and Booktube are. And we're just saying that Authortube and Booktube, like, we're just relating it to what we used to watch, like, 10 years ago, right? But, I mean, was there actually any definition? Anyways, that's kind of, like, whatever. But I do think that there is a lot more emphasis being placed on marketing just in general for YouTube videos and just being an independent, like, entrepreneur or whatever we're calling it, because like there are certain, like, Zara, I know Zara's stuff just by looking at one post. I'm like, oh, Zara posted this. I don't even need to see that she posted it on her Instagram account or Ko-fi page. I'm just like, yeah, it's Zara's, okay. And I think there's nothing wrong with branding, but I definitely feel like there's more emphasis placed there.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to shove it in people's faces. Like, I put my logo as small as possible while still being legible on, like, the images that I share. Sometimes I forget. But, like, if it's something I design in Canva now, it's, like, mainly just, like, locked there so I don't forget to brand myself. And otherwise, it's like, oh, is it a really dark purple? It might be Zara.
Yeah, I think... So you were opening your mouth there.
No, go ahead, Charliee. I'll go after you. No, finish your thought while you've got it.
Okay, I was just gonna say there's nothing wrong with that at all, right? Because it's really nice. But I guess that brings me to my other point, which is that as artists, we have this. I guess everyone does technically. We have this kind of urge to be original, right? So then I guess you would take branding into what is your own that no one else can copy type of thing. And that is where I would say that I just watched, because I was away from Authortube for a while. I just watched Barrett's video on his tea. Is it tea if it's your own tea?
It's still tea.
It's still
tea.
Which is just that's what it reminded me of. Here you go.
Sorry, I love you so much. Okay, so I'm gonna pivot to the brand marketing and say this really quickly. Actually, I had this conversation. I hope JC Carpenter doesn't mind this, but JC Carpenter and I were talking backstage earlier today, and I had this conversation with her, and I'm gonna have it with Authortube now. So everybody has their own opinions on brand marketing, how it works, and all the things. Here's my take on it as somebody who taught business classes. You are artist. I have this conversation with Zara actually lots of times. So you're artists. We all have value, and I think that a problem that a lot of people have, and I'm definitely guilty of it, and others are guilty of it, is we forget our value and we lessen ourselves and say, well, I don't want to annoy someone by putting some affiliate links in my description box, so I'm not going to do that. Or, you know, I don't want to put someone out by telling them about my books that are out, so I'm not going to mention that. Or I have a new brand merch thing that I could talk about, but I feel like I'm talking too much about myself. Well, I'm tired of that. So if you want to sell stuff, you got to sell it. You got to tell people about it and do it with your whole chest. If you're proud of it, you're proud of it, and put it out there and do it. And I'm going to support you for doing it, because that's how business works. And if you believe in it, then sell it. Make it a whole part of who and what you are. And then it's not a problem for me. Now I saw some other names mentioned, like She Who Shall Not Be Mentioned with ARCs and levels of things. And yes, I agree. There are limits to all of those things. But I wish more of us were more comfortable in saying, you know what, we should be paid for putting in time on Authortube and other places, because it's a lot of damn work, y'all. And AdSense is not sending giant checks to Nia for...
Regina and I were appalled when we heard how much Crow is going to be getting paid to do something. And she's like, no, it's for a friend. And like, I don't want to up the price. And I'm like, okay, well, let me, I was like, okay, I can't force you to up your price. I think you should up your price, even if it's a friend, because this is like abysmal in prices. But tell me that when you're going freelance, that you're not going to like completely undervalue yourself. And I say this as someone who Crow and Regina then made me bump up my commission prices today. They're like, you're doing hours of research for someone who wants to get traditionally published, and you're charging like $20 when the software itself is like thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah. And they were like, no, unacceptable. And I was like,
yeah.
Well, and I want to make one more point really quickly, because this is, again, something that JC and I had to talk about. And she's not the only person on Authortube I've had this conversation with. And I say
You've had it with me.
Saying it to me, I've had it with Zara. I've had it with myself first, y'all, right? So this is something I have to remind myself. Even if someone is your friend, it's still business. And you are better protected by getting something in writing, having a clear agreement, boundaries, and understanding of what's happening there. Yeah. And being friends is not a reason to have a clear understanding of what's expected for services exchanged and rendered. Even if you're bartering, have a contract and keep it professional, and you will avoid, circling back to Charlie's point, ending up doing a video.
So my photography teacher used to say, if you're going to make exceptions for your friends, what is your exception rate for family? And if you're going to make exceptions for your family, what about the person who has a really nice sympathy story? So it's just best to set a hard line and be like, well, here's a discount code for the holidays. Or do it as a birthday present, in which case.
There's a time and place for a sale or a place to, exactly, Charlie. There is a time and a place to do a loss leader, right? Or to figure out a way to get folks into your shop and say, okay, I'm selling a bunch of, Zara, for example, has a whole shop of stuff. So maybe she has a sale on one of her items. Let's say it's her Ko-fi guide. She's going to run a half off sale on her Ko-fi guide. But really the point is to get them to her Ko-fi page so they can see the other things that she offers. And again, it's her whole, it's all of her. There is nowhere Zara goes that she is not like, I can fix it for you.
Yeah.
And I know that you're going to pay me for it, but I can fix it for you. And yes, they should pay you a full-on offer. I had this conversation with Eva about when she starts editing. So it's just, all of us have to remember we have a worth, there's a value. Don't give it away for free. I love Maggie putting it out there for folks for free. I get that and love it and think that's amazing. But for some things, for freelancing especially, do not be afraid to set a price and be okay to say no. You know?
I mean, like, I give my VIP club tier 15% off of commissions automatically because they're like supporting me consistently, like so much, and I like still can't believe that they do. And then I'm running a sale for like the start of the new year that's like 8% off commissions, and I tell my VIP club people, I'm like, I mean, you could use this if you want, but you're getting a better deal with this, so like, don't worry about it or whatever. But yeah, in general, I don't run sales all the time. I used to run sales on my books all the time when like I didn't have that many out. And with grad school, I just kind of have forgotten that like if I run a sale on a book, I now have enough of a backlog that like it could help. But yeah, sales, don't keep making exceptions.
Yeah. Well, the other thing with making exceptions is in some places, if you, and this goes more for like contractual stuff, but in some places you can have like handshake agreements, and that's still like an actual contract. Sure. So if there's a record of you accepting payment for a lesser amount without something being written down that this is an exception, they can say, oh no, that was the agreed upon amount, and so you accepted that payment of less than, so now I don't have to pay you the previous rate. So there's those kinds of things. But there's also if you value the person that you're working with, just pay them.
That part.
Yeah.
And I've done, this is un-Authortube related, but this is just general work in general and working with people in general. The customers that I had the most difficult time with were the ones who wanted to negotiate my price. If someone wants to, this is just for me as personally in sales, if I'm working with somebody on something, a service I'm providing, and they want to negotiate with me over my quote, thank you. Someone came back to me, do you want to requote this? I found it a less expensive price. No, I don't. Thank you.
Yeah. I agree. I have a hard time promoting myself whenever I'm putting stuff in. Like, I have an affiliate links. I have stuff that people have asked me for that I actually have sold. And they're like, you should put that as an affiliate link so people can go to Amazon and get it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to bother people. I feel like I'm going to bother people. They're going to see all these links and be like, oh, he's just selling that low content, Because I didn't necessarily make it to sell. I made it for my kids' friends who asked for these. They're like, can you make us some comic books? I'm like, yeah, I can make you some. And I'm like, yeah, I actually have some. I'll send you a link, Charlie. I know I should. My son is like, why are you not linking these things?
Look,
and I'm like,
okay,
because
I just wanted to say, if you're, well, I fully think that you should be like sprouting like a book trailer for the things that you have. If it makes you like so uncomfortable, then starting with an affiliate link is great, because then when people scroll down, they're like, oh my gosh, what is this? I'm going to click on it to see, even if it's not like, oh my gosh, everyone go check now, every type of video. But
yeah, I will probably never mention it. Like, I wouldn't even have mentioned it.
I've never mentioned my affiliate. I mean, unless there's been one video where I talked about analytics, where I talked about TubeBuddy, so I mentioned that.
Which is what I have.
But other than that, I have legitimately never mentioned my affiliates. They're just down there. And I will say I haven't sold a lot, but I've sold stuff through the affiliates. You know,
I've sold some.
And it's usually microphone. So my microphone I've sold 2 of, which is wild. It's terrible. So, but keep buying it. Thanks, people. And my t-shirts, my black V-neck t-shirts, when I started listing them in my description box, like only 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, there have been 4 of those sales.
Oh,
so
wow.
Someone out there is buying my black V-neck t-shirts, which I love.
Barrett,
I know it's okay, but I feel like I'm going to be, I don't know why I feel like I'm going to be judged if I do this. I'm like, I'm going to be the one that gets, I don't know why. I'm just like,
well,
but when someone tells me about something,
complain about them. So I'm like, if people are, I feel like people will complain about anything. I get it. But when you're a small channel, I feel like I don't want the negative. Like people are like, oh, good or bad. Negative is just as good as positive. It brings people to your channel. I'm like, well, I don't want people coming to my channel because they think something negative of me. I just don't. I'm like, I don't want that kind of stuff. I don't want that kind of drama. I'm here for a good time and to meet people and to make friends, to grow the community and, become a better writer. I'm not here for people to drag me. I'm like, I'm not trying to get dragged for anything.
So I think I need to clarify my initial comment, my little rant about all the links in the bio. When I said, if you promote a book to me and you say there's a link in the bio and I want to go find that link to that book, and I can't find the link to the book because it's crowded out by your other stuff, I'm going to be mad because I was about to give you my money. And don't make it hard for me to give you money. If I want to give you money, I'm going to give you money.
Take my money.
Well, I totally got what you meant, Chandra, because I have been in the same situation. I've had to search for links that I didn't.
It wasn't until I had said that, like, oh, I stuff it all down at the bottom where Chandra was like, no, that's cool. And you also have like a template. Then I was like, oh, I understand what you mean. You're just like, don't bury the lead. Because you're trying to sell me all this other stuff.
Yes.
That's
what
it was like. It's like I've got this great thing, but I'm going to stick it way at the bottom so you look at all the other stuff first.
Yeah,
I feel like if you mention something, yes, put that up top because you mentioned it, and someone's going to want to. Yeah.
It's also you underestimate my ability to completely ignore what you have written if it's not what I'm interested in.
Oh,
like there are studies and like site maps about like how we ignore like 30% of our screen all the time, and it used to be like the right side of the page because that's where like all the ads on a website used to be, and it's like,
yeah.
If I'm not interested, I can ignore very easily. So don't piss me off.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zara, another great way to advertise and be discreet is just to have a video of it on your background. Because I thought that was so cool. Yes. I was like, oh, so this is the series, this is the order. I don't have to search up a how-to on Zara's books. They're all like right there for me.
Yep. It's easy. I think I'm going to say one thing, and you won't be able to find it. It's way, way back. But Sin said something about doing some freelance work for a friend. And so here's my thing. I'm not saying that there aren't times and places to give discounts. In fact, quite the opposite. And definitely there are situations where I think freelance workers especially should do that. However, I totally agree with Chandra. When I was freelancing for PR, I will tell you this. I only had 3 people try to screw me over. And all 3 of those people were friends or family. And all 3 of them thought they were slick and people not slick. So, you're not going to like stop taking my calls and text messages and act like, oh, I'm not going to pay you. Really? Because you've been my cousin for 14 years. I know where you live. So we're not going to do that. But that's more what I was talking about. And so I would just encourage everybody to think about the book stuff the same way, right? Like as a viewer of all of your YouTube channels, if all of you were selling me stuff, I am not bothered at all by holding up your books and talking about them in your opening and outro. If your topic is about something in the books, I am not against talking about that. Same with any content you may have when Sarah's talking about her outlining method or Ko-fi guide. If it's relevant to what we're talking about, market the F out of that. No one loves to sell that crap more than me.
He'll sell my stuff. Like I was doing an outro on a stream, and I think some of the people on the screen were with me, and Barrett wasn't for once or something. And I was like, oh, I have this in my Ko-fi blah, blah, blah. And I know if I don't say this, Barrett will come for me, so I have this available too. It's like,
boom, sell it.
on that score, though, if you, I forgot what I was going to say. It'll come back to me later.
I think when it comes to branding, I think the best example I can give where it becomes annoying for me is not from the Authortube community at all. I was watching a journaling video, and I was really invested in this journaler, and I watched all her videos, and in every single video, she's like, in order to do this spread, you need to buy my stuff. And I was like, well, I don't really want to buy your stuff, like... Maybe I did, but like I'd also like to see you be creative in other ways. I don't know. It's her brand, it's her stuff. But if you format it like that, where you can't do this unless you have my stuff, then it doesn't make you want to buy stuff.
Yeah, just sell that thing then.
It's back. So the thing I was going to say is you can let people know how much of a discount you're giving them. Like even if they're not paying you for something, write up your invoice and mark out like this is how much it costs. This is your discount. Your balance is $0. You're welcome. but like nicer.
Yeah,
Just have a record of it.
Mhm.
Just because, and it can clear boundaries for when things begin and end and when feedback needs to be done and all the things. Because again, when there are personal relationships or friendships on Authortube, for example, you can be like, oh, I don't want to push them because we're friends. No, ma'am. Like, when it comes to business, you just have boundaries and that's how it works. So
Yeah, I think someone taught me this a while ago, and they said, one, if you're going to do a discount, you have that discount, know what it is, automatically have it in, and know who you're going to give that discount to. Like if you have a friends and family discount, or you're having a hardship, say no already. That's 15%. Don't haggle with anybody. Be like, I know you're on hard times. This is a discount that I give.
Yes.
I know your family. This is, and that's it. No, there's no other. If you're going to do that, that way it's hard. It's hard.
So this is directly to me, Jennifer Brown. No. You don't owe me anything. First of all, I'm not a writer, and so your back blurb copy was not. Or I'm not a published author or anything. All I did was look over that and like play with it for you. So that is not. You don't owe me anything for that. I'm talking. If you want me to write a press release for your book, I'm gonna charge you for that, Jennifer. But like which by the way is a waste of money, and I tell you not to do it. But if that is something I am qualified to do. But if you wanted, but that's so. So yeah, let's just to be clear, like I freelanced in communications stuff. And so, you don't owe me anything. Sorry, go ahead. What are we talking about now? I see my name, can't read it.
Barrett could market his friendship. He's that good. Who wouldn't buy that for $1?
Thank you.
Only kidding. I love you.
Is this a poem of some sort? That feels like a haiku or something. Like what were we
You would
doing?
think, but no, that's what the comment says from the novel
like,
Nana.
That is some sort of free verse that I'm like here for. There's an M
All right,
dash in
guys,
there too.
I'm
It's
grabbing
like, wow.
links, which is why I'm not clicking on comments, because we're getting ready to move over. We're heading for our 10-minute break where we're going to move over and record the next episode. So this one's going live on YouTube. You guys can hit the rewatch, but we record on Twitch isn't going to go live for a couple of weeks. So if you want to be in the live chat for the next one, you need to come over to Twitch and be with us live. And then when I post it on YouTube, anybody who wants to come and can hang out in the chat, I will be in the chat and we can talk about some of the things. We're going to be talking about can you steal in the writing, your writing and ideas? There have been some things that have happened.
Can I just say that one thing I really
We'll be
like
talking about it. Go
about
ahead.
this? One thing I really like about this segment is because I hear all the drama. Like I don't need to go search drama out for myself. It comes to me.
Charliee, you were gold. I love you so much. She's like, I don't even watch it. She's like, I just show up and Barrett and Nia drop it off at my doorstep.
I'm the same way. I'm like Kelly and this show. I'm like, ooh, I didn't know. Like I'm late to the party, but I still got opinions.
I'm tired.
All right, so I'm dropping the link because this is going to be its own episode. We'll do quick outros and then we'll have a 10-minute break. Quick outros, guys. Starting with Chandra, round robin. Let's go.
My name's Chandra Arthur. I write fiction. Yes, I write fiction. Science fiction, fantasy, and historical fiction. I have an Authortube channel under my name, Chandra Arthur. You can also find me on all social media at cchanwrite. I also am doing Flash Fiction live with Natalie Locke, good gravy. And I swear. Sorry, Natalie. And we have Flash Fiction February coming up. I'm done. Thank you and good night.
Hi, my name is Barrett Laurie. Over my channel, I write Kidlit and talk about my journey on the way to traditional publishing. I host Critique Group Live every second Thursday of the month and often do live stream author interviews and transitioning into a talk show starting at the end of February. Thank you for having me, Nia.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Hi, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy, and new adult sci-fi romance trilogy, but I will write whatever comes to mind. I have a Ko-fi page, an Authortube channel, and a Twitch channel. The video platforms obviously have, or not obviously, I do writing sprints on those at least once a week per platform. And my Ko-fi page has everything you need, so be sure to check that out. Is the third link under my name in the description down below. Also, Nia Barrett has a Ko-fi page, so you might want to update the description.
Yes,
Love
I
it,
know.
Michael.
I love that she.
No, I think you said it last time. I think I talked to you. You mentioned about the Ko-fi and your Ko-fi strategy. Barrett, I think I remember.
I have a Ko-fi strategy. I just love that she, in her outro, told Nia
Oh, yes.
the description box. I was like, ballsy move, love it.
If I ever,
You love me anyway. If
I
you want to eject me from the studio, you can, but I know you love me.
if I ever need someone to tell me if someone else has a Ko-fi page, I just go straight to Zara because she literally knows every Authortuber who has a Ko-fi page, and even if they're just like a commenting person, she knows the Ko-fi page.
Truth.
Yep.
Yeah. And last but not least, I am Charliee. This is my YouTube channel down here. And I post videos about writing and journaling, mostly journaling. And I write YA fantasy. That was a mess. Anyways. There we go.
I have already set the bar. You are fine.
Oh, wait. I should also say that I'm also 1/4 of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's the
We're
first time
the
I've
you.
actually said that.
The you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction. You are here on my channel. Thanks for watching Authortubers React. We're heading over to Twitch to record episode number 8. You can join us live. And if you're in the chat now, you can join us live. If you're not, you're going to catch it in a couple of weeks. We will post it on YouTube tomorrow. On Sundays, every other week, I'm going to be reviewing adaptations. And our first one that we're doing is Hunger Games. It's been 10 years. Yes.
I'd be there if I could, but I'm
I
in
know,
a very
yeah.
important
I was
podcast
like-
episode, and I was like, oh, it's at the exact same time.
Yeah, I was telling everybody, and they're like, oh, Zara would be great to have.
I'm so sorry. I
It is
didn't
okay.
realize.
It is okay. It is okay. We'll catch you on another one. You know, we'll be doing Shadow and Bone soon, too. We'll keep you posted. So thank you, guys. It was great, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.